the world's biggest serial killer might never have been caught if he had known how to use a computer. Just imagine a person committing serial killings who is also a friend of his own victims, a well-known name in the city, and on top of that, a doctor. This is the astonishing story of Dr. Harold Shipman, who used his clinic not to save lives, but to take them. In a small town named Hyde in England, where only 30 people lived, he continued serial killings under everyone's noses for 23 years. Even after putting more than 250 people to eternal sleep, no one suspected Dr. Harold Shipman, and maybe no one ever would have, had he not made a small mistake. Why was he killing people? Why wasn't he caught for so long? And what clue did the police find that exposed a series of murders in an instant? Welcome once again to Discover TV Videos, viewers. Dr. Harold Shipman used to target mostly those patients who lived alone and were quite old, so that no one would suspect their death. He would spend extra time with these patients, even visiting them at their homes. He would listen to them to ease their hearts, making them feel that even if they were alone, Dr. Shipman was there to listen to them. Some patients even trusted him enough to give him the keys to their homes. Because of this behavior, he became quite famous in Hyde. People believed Dr. Shipman healed the elderly through conversation alone. But behind all this, Shipman would gather information about who lived alone at what time, how much wealth and property they had, who visited their homes, and where their relatives lived. Once Dr. Shipman was confident, he would give his patients an overdose of medicine and kill them. Since the patients were already over 80 years old, their deaths raised no suspicion. This continued for years, and not only was he not caught, but no one even suspected him until he made a mistake. Dr. Shipman began his career in a town called Pontefract, 70 kilometers from Hyde, where he worked in a hospital. Then in 1974, he left Pontefract and moved to Todmorden, where he joined the Abraham and Married Medical Center as a general practitioner. While working there, he started prescribing excessive quantities of pethidine, a painkiller, but a very addictive medicine. Dr. Shipman himself was addicted to pethidine and deliberately prescribed it to patients even when they didn't need it. As a result, patients felt very good after taking the medicine, not realizing they were being drugged. That's why, even unwillingly, patients were drawn toward Shipman. After being caught, the hospital administration fired him, and it almost led to his license being cancelled, but Shipman managed to save his license. After spending a short time in a rehab center and being forgotten by everyone, he moved to Hyde in 1977, where he joined Donnybrook Medical Center as a general practitioner. In 1980, he continued practicing as a GP and neither gave up his addiction nor stopped murdering elderly patients when he got the chance. The frequency of the murders increased significantly from 1993, when he opened his own clinic in Hyde and built a good reputation in the city. For several years, things went on like this and no one suspected his actions. For the first time in March 1998, Dr. Linda Reynolds, who worked at Brooke Surgery, right opposite Shipman's clinic, expressed concern over the higher death rate among Shipman's patients. She said that while Shipman ran only a small clinic, 16 of his patients had died in the last 3 months, whereas during the same period, Brooke Surgery with 3 times the number of patients had only 14 deaths. The suspicion grew when it was discovered that all 16 of Dr. Shipman's deceased patients had been cremated instead of buried. It's important to note here that most Christians bury their loved ones after death. Only a few choose cremation. Dr. Linda presented her suspicions in the form of a report to the Manchester coroner. The report included all details and noted that most of Shipman's 16 patients were elderly women found dead at home, and it couldn't be a coincidence that Dr. Shipman was present in almost all these cases. What made it more suspicious was that all deaths occurred in a strange manner. Patients were found sitting upright in chairs, well-dressed. Either Dr. Shipman was present at their homes at the time of death, or he was the one who found the body, which was not normal in any sense. Based on this report, an investigation was launched, but the police found no solid evidence against Dr. Shipman, and the investigation was closed after a month. When Dr. Harold Shipman's patients died, he himself would sign Form B, the form where the treating doctor writes the cause of death. But the problem was with Form C, which is supposed to be signed by another doctor. In most cases, Shipman would get it signed by friends or people who didn't suspect him. In this way, Shipman would write false information on death certificates and send the bodies for cremation without raising suspicion. Due to this process, many deaths remain uninvestigated, allowing Shipman to hide his murder spree easily. After the investigation was closed, Shipman killed 3 more people, but the time of his rest was near. His final victim was Kathleen, an 81-year-old former mayor of Hyde, who died at home on June 24, 1998. Once again, Dr. Shipman was the last person to see her alive. He signed the death certificate and wrote old age as the cause of death. Kathleen's daughter Angela Woodruff, a lawyer herself, became suspicious when she found a will in which her mother had left her house to Dr. Shipman. Shipman was close to the family, and getting the house in the will wasn't suspicious by itself. What raised Angela's concern was that her mother had 2 houses, but only one was mentioned in the will, indicating that the will was written by someone unaware of the second house, and that someone was Dr. Shipman. Angela went to the police, who reopened the investigation. Kathleen Grundy's body was exhumed and sent for autopsy. It was found that her body contained high traces of diamorphine heroin. When the police questioned Dr. Shipman, he claimed Grundy was addicted to heroin and had noted this in her medical record. Dr. Shipman had recently started making entries in a computerized medical journal, but he didn't know that the computer automatically saves the last edit date. Police found that he had backdated the entries. Not only that, but they also found the typewriter used to forge the will. It was confirmed because some characters on the typewriter were damaged and the exact same characters were missing in Grundy's will. On September 7, 1998, police arrested Dr. Harold Shipman, the renowned doctor of Hyde. Once the truth came out, families of previous victims also came forward. They had their doubts, but couldn't raise their voice against the well-known doctor. The police also investigated 15 other patients who had recently died under Shipman's care. All these cases followed a specific pattern. Shipman gave a lethal dose of diamorphine, signed the death certificate himself, wrote old age as the cause of death, and suggested cremation to destroy all evidence. During the Shipman inquiry, all patient cases under his care were re-examined. The team investigated all documents, death certificates, and medical records handled by Shipman. They also interviewed the families of the deceased and even exhumed some bodies for forensic autopsies. The process was extremely detailed, and it was revealed that from 1975 until his arrest, Shipman had murdered 218 patients. This is the confirmed number, but due to lack of evidence in many cases, it's estimated the number could be as high as 260. The court sentenced Shipman for 15 confirmed murders. Later, Shipman tied bedsheets in his jail cell and hanged himself. After his death, a fellow inmate revealed that Shipman had confessed to killing not 260 but 508 people. However, the real reason behind Shipman's killing spree is still unknown. Some say he was a psychopath, others say it was for money, while some believe it was due to the trauma of his mother's death, who was a cancer patient given morphine as a painkiller. Experts believe that perhaps Shipman wanted to watch his patients die just like his mother. We hope you liked and shared this Discover TV video as well. Thank you for your loving comments. See you in the next amazing video.